This is the frontal lobe. The frontal lobe is focused on the intelligence, the personality, and focuses on the voluntary control of muscles. This is the temporal lobe. The temporal lobe focuses on the language acquisition, like hearing and processing it, as well as the memory of it. The occipital lobe focuses on responses to visual stimuluses, like colors and shapes. Right next to it is the Voronix area. The Voronix area is focused in understanding language, while the Broncus area, this one, is focused in speaking the language. The parietal lobe focuses on sensory intake, as in like whenever you feel a temperature, you're intaking that stimulus, you're intaking that information. Right next to it, paired to it, is the somatosensory cortex, the orange thing, which interprets that information on touch, pain, temperature, the pleasure, that kind of stuff. It just allows us to perceive the things surrounding us. Right next to it is the motor cortex, which focuses on the voluntary movement. It controls that area. And that's the low brain.
First we have the corpus callosum. That's the part of the brain that connects the two lobes. Next we have the basal ganglia. It's the blue piece right here. It works with the cerebellum and cerebral cortex to control voluntary movement. Then we have the thalamus, which is the darker blue under the basal ganglia, and that receives sensory information from all the senses except for smell and sends it to the cortex. Then we have the hypothalamus, which is this purple, it's actually the purple little dot underneath, and it controls behaviors like eating and drinking, and also body temperature and heart rate. And then we have the amygdala, which controls aggression and fear. And then the hippocampus, which is this purple swoopy thing right here, and that is involved in learning and storage of long-term memories. Then we have the pituitary gland, which is this orange dot that's connected to the toothpick, and that controls all the other hormone producing glands in the body, and it's called the master gland. Then we have the brainstem, which is this green piece that runs all the way down, and that is the core of the brain, and it's the oldest part, and it starts where the spinal cord swells and enters the brain, and it's responsible for like the automatic survival functions. And then we have the pons, which is on the brain stem, and that is this orange piece across here, and that plays a role in sleeping and dreaming and breathing and respiration. And then we have the medulla, which is this orange piece below the pons. It's also on the brain stem, and it helps regulate heart rate and breathing. And then we have the reticular formation, and that is this purple piece underneath the other purple piece, and that's responsible for our sleep and wake cycle. And then we have the cerebellum, which controls our balance and movement. It coordinates voluntary movement. And that's it.